Hey guys, what is up? It is Bibzuda7 here again, and welcome to another RS3 vlog style video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my development of this account, and how I got from where I started all the way up to where I am now, which is CompCape. This was an idea I got from one of my comments on one of my previous videos, so thank you to that comment for this idea. I thought it would be a cool video to make just because I am comped now on this account. So it's kind of going to be cool to just look back and see, how I got here and what steps I took. The order I got my 99s in and the stuff I did to make my money, things like that. Now, the cool part is if you want, you can find all this out for yourself or by watching over all of my RS3 vlogs, which I think there's like over 200 videos in that playlist at this point. But in that playlist are every single vlog I've made on this account, and that pretty much includes all the progress on how I made my money, where I got my, which 99s I got in what order, and, just basically everything I did on this account up till this point. So you guys can check that playlist out if you want to watch the older ones, but I'm going to kind of go through it here and just give my thoughts on what I maybe should have done differently or could have done differently or something like things like that. And yeah, generally I will be straight with you guys here before I get into this video. I'm not playing on this account too much anymore. Right now I'm just doing fire making, but mainly this account I'm pretty much using for if any new updates come out, or if I get if I get the itch to do some PVM, like if I want to do some Telos or make some money for some bonds or something for Premiere, I'll play on this account. But as I've said previously, the Collection King series is being put on hold right now because I have a new series that's going to kind of replace it. Still not giving details on that. I did make a little post in my community tab on my channel the other day regarding it, but I am very close to completing that goal for starting the new series, but it is very RNG heavy, so it's just going to be luck if I can get it done before New Year's or not, but I'm going to be grinding hard for it and starting that new series as soon as possible. But as a result, I'm not really going for all the collections or IFB on this account anymore, and it'll become clear why in the future, but I'm not going to go into it too much in this video. I'm just giving you guys that heads up. That is why I haven't really had too many videos recently, and I've also been playing a little bit on my old school hardcore Iron Man just for some fun while I do the grind for my other series. I don't really think I'm going to make videos on old school because I know most people watch my channel for RS3, and I wouldn't want to divide my subscribers or anything like that. But if you guys really would want to see it, then let me know in the comments. However, I'm not planning on doing it unless there's really a lot of support for it. So don't worry if you don't want to see it, but if you do, let me know in the comments. But yeah, as far as new videos go, I'll make a new video if they do make a year ahead. I doubt they're gonna honestly make one because of the way they've gone down in the past, but they're definitely gonna have a January month ahead at some point, so I'll make a video on that, and I'll just do a random vlog here and there while I'm still working on this grind before I can start my new series. But hopefully it will be started within the next week or so, depending on my luck. And then if it doesn't get there, I'll probably make some more top 5s and stuff to fill out the videos. Anyways, let's jump into this video. So this account I've actually had for a very long time. So for those of you who don't know or didn't follow me in the past, this is actually the second account I've had that I maxed out. My other account that I maxed out first was also named Bibzuda7, but it was one that I had made before this account, and it was kind of just like my main account. I'd always played on it, but when I quit playing for a while, I lost access to the account. I just don't have it anymore. You guys can maybe infer what I'm talking about, but I don't want to say it just because of the way I guess it comes off. But I don't have that account anymore, and I don't have access to it. So I came back and I wanted to play again, and I had to figure out if I wanted to make a new account or what I wanted to do. I actually had this account, which I made a long time ago, back when there was still a trade limit and Bounty Hunter was a thing. This was a free-to-play account that I played on, and I used it for doing like range to two-hander. So back then you would use like Maple shortbow or whatever the best shortbow was in free-to-play, and then switch to Rune two-hander to get the kill. And it was pretty fun. It didn't really have any stats. I think I was like 50 fishing and maybe like 40 range and like 30 defense were like the only notable stats when I first started off on the account. Again, like for real, you can actually even go look in the video that I made for the first vlog in this like playlist or in this series of vlogs. The stats on this account when I got it, those were pretty much the stats from when I was doing free to play. So I didn't really have any good stats on there at all, but that was how I got started with this account. I didn't make a completely new account, but it didn't have anything really too significant on it. So the first thing I had to do obviously was get some money going, and the way I did that to start off on my account was to do barrows. So I went ahead and got my magic up. Mainly, pretty much whenever I make an account now on this game, I focus a magic build because magic is pretty much the best style. I mean, there's no real debating on that. Melee is good for certain bosses and stuff, but overall you want to go for magic in general, and I would say it is the best, just in my opinion. And it's the easiest to get up as a low level or like a poor person, because getting the runes isn't too bad, and there's a lot of nice weapons you can get from magic early on, especially like the Iban staff, which is level 50, and the Gothic staff, or the ones from Mage Bank that are level 60 that are free to get. So it's always nice to be able to get those and use them while you're training up. So I went to barrows to start, and I actually got really lucky at barrows. I think the second video in this series is a barrows task I got from Soul Reaper, and I think I got like 2 items on my first 2 chests, so I got pretty lucky with those, and they were both decent ones that sold for quite a bit of money. That really got me like started off for the beginning of my account, and I was really happy with that. So what I did after that was I camped at barrows. I used that money to buy a little bit of better gear and some better supplies, and I just camped at barrows for about 400 chests, I think. I mean, I probably still have nearly that same number of chests, because I haven't really done too many since then. So about 400 or so chests of barrows I camped, and that got me enough money. I think it was about 50 or so mil to get me 95 prayer. So I went straight for 95 prayer from there and got Soul Split and Turmoil unlocked from the questing. So I really sprinted straight for Soul Split and Turmoil on this account because it's so useful for when you're doing Slayer and stuff. You don't have to bring food, just some prayer pots. And that was a pretty good start for me. I was pretty happy with that. The barrows grind was a bit tough, but it is really decent money for lower level players, especially if you don't have high level weapons. Then after doing that, I went and trained up some melee stats. I have a video of like 50 hard clue loots or something like that, which was pretty sweet. I think I was just training up at Hellhounds. And then after getting Soul Split, I basically went straight for Elf City. So as most of you know, that requires a bunch of level 75 in a bunch of different skills. So I sprinted straight for Elf City, got that unlocked, and most of the time whenever I was training combat, of course, I was doing Slayer as well. So that has been, I was working up my Slayer as I went, and just training my skills overall with money I got from Slayer for the most part. And that was pretty much enough to get me into the Elf City. After that, I continued with quite a few questing, quite a few quests. I did Ritual of the Majorat pretty early on after that, which was nice because obviously that requires quite a few of the quests in the game, and it's nice to get quests out of the way early on in the account because that's when the XP rewards are the most valuable, and it's just nice to have all the areas possible unlocked going forward. After that, I started to do some God Wars, some QBD, stuff like that, while I got near to unlocking Invention. So that was nice to do, getting into the mid-levels of PVM, where God Wars is still low level, but QBD is getting towards the mid-level, and it was nice to do that. QBD I did quite a lot of for my Slayer tasks and just in general to get some extra money. After that, I'm not sure what exactly I did following that. I basically just kept on getting my stats up in general, doing Slayer to continue getting my money up, my combat stats, just to try and eventually get to those high level, like Nox weapons and stuff like that. So I continued on just grinding those different things and doing the clues, stuff like that. There wasn't too many massive things that happened during that time. Just the Slayer grind was pretty much all I was doing for the most part. I wasn't doing too many skilling things, just getting my Slayer with all my combat stats and stuff like that. And inevitably, as a result of that, I did get my first 99 on the account, which was magic. Pretty standard first 99 at this point, especially if you're not going for skilling. I think I still have the untrimmed cape here in my wardrobe, actually, because if you don't put it in a keepsake, you do lose it. Filter, yes, where I think I have it in. Yeah, I do. So that is my untrimmed magic cape that I got for getting magic as my first 99, obviously. So yeah, that was pretty nice to get. I mean, since I had already maxed before, 99s weren't really that big of significance to me, but still, it was nice to get my first one on this account. And I just continued doing Slayer from there, grinding it out, getting it up, and my next 99 was actually range. So my second 99 was range, and that's just from doing Slayer again. And then following that was HP, so 3 combat 99s, and then following that was 99 Slayer. So I did pretty much just go straight for that after finishing my Turmoil and doing a bunch of quests. I went straight for 99 Slayer, got that. Followed shortly after by 99 Defense, because I was training that after getting range and magic up. But my melee stats were honestly pretty low at this point, like I think high 70s, low 80s at best, because I really didn't melee that much. I was just ranging and maging. But after getting 99 Slayer, I started to do quite a bit of PVM. I got into doing Araxor, which if you have been around for a really long time and you watched my old videos on my old account, I used to try to do Araxor, and I really struggled with it. I kind of sucked pretty bad back in the day. I'm not sure how I got better at it, really, or at PVMing in general, but after coming back, and it might have been because I had better gear as well, but it was much easier to learn and get into doing Araxor, and I camped it pretty hard for quite a while just to get a bunch of money, and I think that's how I saved up for my first Nox and everything like that. I have 727 kills there now. I'd say I probably did at least like 500 kills within this short amount of time when I was camping it. But then the double XP weekend was coming up. I think this was 2017's fall double XP weekend. No, that's not right, I don't think. That must have been the February double XP of 2017. Let me check here the video. Oh, no. I'm not sure when this was. So I made a video talking about it in April, so it must have been a summer double XP weekend. I'm not sure. Whenever some XP weekend in 2017 is when I started to actually plan on doing some skilling and working slowly towards max, because at this point I hadn't really done any skilling and I was mostly focusing on PVM. But after that, whenever I wanted to AFK, I was working on just some random skills, and I got my next 99 as cooking. Obviously one of the easier ones, not too important at all, but still nice to get one of the skilling ones out of the way. Following up on that, I'm pretty sure this was on double XP weekend, I got 99 summoning and 99 Herblore, so I now had access to all the overloads I need, and pack yak, obviously, stuff like that. So I was really, getting into the being quite PVM ready for the high level bosses. And after that, I decided it was time for me to try out Telos. And as many of you know, at this point, Telos is easily my favorite boss in the game, but before this, I had never done it before, and it was quite the learning curve. I remember really struggling for a while, but eventually getting things down, and now at this point I can do it with my eyes closed, basically. So I really, really enjoyed learning Telos. It was a lot of fun, to be honest. I thought it was, it's such a great boss, even just when you're trying to learn it. So I was really happy when I was learning Telos, and I got really, really lucky, honestly, at Telos, if you ask me. Initially, I didn't think it was that lucky just because of the way things went, but if you look at that video, you'd probably get pissed if you've done a lot of Telos, and rightfully so, because in one of my videos, I think my highest in rage was like 300% or something, and I have maybe 230 kills or so. And I had an orb set, so that was obviously insanely lucky, but I didn't really appreciate it at the time, but I was definitely really happy with the amount of money that got me. That was a huge amount of money for me when I was at that point. That basically took my bank and multiplied it by 10, gave me 10 times the bank worth, and that really is what got me stuck into Telos, and it was like, man, this boss is amazing. I love killing it, and it's insane for loot. So I managed to get my first orb set really, really early on, which was very, very nice. And then I think some point near the end of the summer, towards the beginning of fall of 2017, I decided, all right, it's time for me to go for Maxscape once again, so I can get into that max guild, start using that boss portal. So I went ahead and spent a decent chunk of that money I had gotten from my first orb set and purchased all the materials and things I'd need for Maxscape. So I was pretty happy to be going for Maxscape again, and it would be really nice to get it. So after that, ensued a bunch of different vlogs on me just doing a bunch of different random skilling, and eventually I started getting the 99s rolling in. First was smithing, followed shortly after by mining. The reason I did smithing and mining was because they had recently discussed the mining and smithing rework, and I kind of wanted to get the two out of the way before it came out, although I clearly didn't have too much to worry about on that front. I did smash those two out as my first two. I then got 99 agility, which I don't even know how I got that, because it was such a massive pain in the ass, but I got that pretty early on in terms of my 99s. I think I was doing some on double XP weekend. I think they might have had one in the fall. I'm not sure. Somehow I managed to get 99 agility. I was like my 8th or 9th. I'm not sure, but pretty early on for me because I hate agility so much. But then I kind of got lured back into doing PVM somehow. I ended up going to Telos again, and I think I got another orb set from there. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to just quickly I'm looking through my videos right now just to see if that's what happened. I'm not sure. I don't really even show it, I don't think. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, so I didn't get a whole orb set, it looks like, unless I have one later on. But anyways, I got lured back to doing some Telos just because, I mean, on the skilling grind was a bit of a pain, and you know, I got put back into doing some Telos again just because of, you know, my thirst for getting more orb sets and more drops and just really enjoying the boss as a whole. And I went pretty dry on my corrupt orb. I got really lucky on my pure and volcanic orb again for my second orb set, so that was really, really lucky. But for my second corrupt orb, I went really, really dry, and I was kind of going insane grinding for it, but I eventually got it and finished my second orb set, which gave me a ton of extra cash to buy some new gear and stuff with. I did get 99 invention during that time because I was obviously siphoning my equipment and stuff. But yeah, after I got that next orb set, I went back to the skilling grind and got 99 hunter. So agility and hunter pretty close together, even though those were probably my two least favorite skills. Not sure what came over me when I was doing that. But following that, I got 99 woodcutting. I remember that being quite a pain doing crystallize at acacias, but it wasn't too bad, and I managed to smash that out. Woodcutting is a bit of a pain as well, so that one kind of sucks. After that, I went and got 99 Divination, which is pretty easy in AFK, although a bit slow. I've never been a big fan of just doing cash too much, but yeah, that's that. Next up was 99 fishing on the skilling grind. 99 fishing was slower than I thought it would be, to be honest. It was really not the quickest way, the quickest 99, but I did the waterfall after doing Menaphos fishing, which it wasn't too bad, but it was just slower than I thought. I then got 99 construction, which is the most aids skill. I hate construction so much, way too much clicking for me, but I finished that off. 99 crafting, really easy after that. That just gave, just AFK, spend a bunch of money. Following on that, I got 99 strength, which is obviously a bit strange of a 99 to get so late, but I just didn't really melee that much, and I think I finished these two 99s off at maybe it was Bandos God Wars, I think was where I was doing it. But after that, I got 99 Dungeoneering, which I fucking hate Dungeoneering, but I managed to do that somehow. I managed to hold my nerve and get the 99. And then right after that I think that was on double XP. And then right after that, actually, I think crafting, strength, construction, dungeoneering. Then after that was fletching. And then after that was fire making. And I'm pretty sure all of those were on a double XP weekend. I was really going hard on that XP weekend, but that was pretty nice to get. Following up on that big batch of 99s, I got 99 Thieving off of the Prif guys. Was pretty fast and easy. Then I got 99 Prayer, just to spend some money on some bones. I was already 95. And then 99 Attack came in from doing Bandos God Wars. Again, very, very late 99, which is not really common as far as I know. Second to last, I got 99 Farming. Had just been doing mostly, I think, palms and magic trees straight up to get those levels because I was pretty wealthy at this point. And then lastly, I got 99 Rune Crafting for my max cape. And Rune Crafting was actually pretty quick with the soul runes, so definitely not too bad. And that was it. I had my max cape, and I was pretty happy getting back. I pretty much got back into PVM for a while there, but after a bit of time, I decided to go finish off the quest cape, which didn't take me too long. I just had a few quests left. So I finished that off, and then there was some pretty big hurdles in my way for getting comp cape, namely like the Dungeoneering and the ports. I don't think Menaphos had come out by the time I had maxed, but again, then Slayer would become a big blocker as well. But yeah, overall, I managed to finish max with Rune Crafting, and then got the quest cape, and then I kind of got back into doing quite a bit of PVM, which quickly resulted in me getting 120 Invention, which was my first 120, which is obviously a pretty easy one to get, but I managed to get that as my next 120. After that, I really wasn't doing too much in terms of videos on the PVM within my vlog series, but I know I was doing a lot of Telos, grinding that quite hard, going for more orb sets and stuff like that. And I was also starting to get into some group PVM, I think, at this point, like Virago and AOD with some of my friends. And you guys can obviously tell I was doing a lot of PVM because the next thing I got was 120 Defense, which is from all PVM. Mostly a lot of that XP comes from Telos, to be honest with you. But yeah, that was a pretty sweet 120 to get. I always liked that cape quite a bit, so it was cool to get that. Then shortly after that, it was the beginning of 2018, and the Clue Scroll rework came out, and I did quite a lot of clues when that first came out. Got a second age staff. If you haven't seen that video, check out my Clue Scroll Chronicles series. That was an insane thing to get, but yeah, that was pretty sweet. And the beginning of this year was pretty nice with the Clue Scroll overhaul and the deep sea fishing, stuff like that. But yeah, that was a nice time where I did a lot of clues and stuff. And then I think at some point during this year, I got my first triple orb chest, which was pretty hype, although it wasn't very high in rage and was really lucky, but still was doing a lot of Telos and stuff. And at some point in like around the middle of this year or so, I decided it was probably about time for me to start going for comp. So I made sure to keep doing my ports every day, started knocking out some of the annoying requirements like the charm sprites and the what's it called, the livid farm. I did the livid farm over one of those bonus weekends, which wasn't too bad. And I just continued on from there knocking out the requirements. At some point along here from PVMing Slayer, whatever, I got 200 mil Invention. That was actually pretty recent after ED2 came out, so that can just goes to show. Most of the time I was doing PVM, not going too hard for any comp cape, but over the last double XP week, no, the weekend before the last double XP weekend, I got my 120 Dungeoneering, which was something I never got on my old main and really solidified in my mind that I was going to be able to get my comp cape. Following that, I got 120 HP, and that was, I think, from just doing mostly my 120 Slayer grind. You guys have all probably seen my 120 Slayer, Road to 120 Slayer series. That is obviously details most of it there, but wow, I have some random video in this playlist. Let me remove that. But yeah, I was pretty much just grinding, and then I got 120 Slayer pretty much shortly after during the previous double XP weekend that happened most recently, which ended up finishing off my comp cape. So that's pretty much the journey of my account. A lot of PVM in there. I could have comped quite a lot earlier if I had tried, but let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. What is your journey? How have you gotten to where you are? You know, what's your favorite PVM that you do for your money? And also let me know if you would like to see videos on my old school hardcore or not. definitely not going to do them unless people really want them, because I don't want to piss people off or anything. But yeah, or if you have any other questions for me about my account or what I did to get here, you can also ask me in the comments. I'm pretty happy with the path that I took, to be honest. First doing Barrows, then it was pretty much, for me, it was like Barrows, then God Wars QBD, then Rax, and then Telos, in terms of like order of things I did for PVM to make money. So, you know, take that with do with that what you will. Let me know your thoughts again in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.